Hello everyone, welcome to Rapid Gyan. So today we are going to start with this chapter called electricity. So this is the 12th chapter of your science and this is the one chapter of your physics. So which is your electricity. So we are going to study this today. So before going on this chapter, few things which I want to tell you guys. Please go through it very carefully. So what is electricity? Okay, what is electricity? So electricity is nothing but like in this we will study the charge. What we will study? We will study about charges. So what are types? So there are actually two types of charges. Okay, one are static charges. One are static charges and second one are the charges which are in motion, or you can say dynamic charges. Okay, in motion or in you can say dynamic charges. Okay. So the static charges is the part like in the branch of science we say where we study about the charges. They are called what they are called beta static electricity. What we call them? Static electricity. Okay. So what is static electricity actually? So have you ever heard that or have you ever tried that experiment? Ki suppose you take a plastic scale. Okay, why I am saying plastic scale specifically, not the steel scale, I will tell you later. But take the plastic scale, okay, and rub that plastic scale on your hairs. So what will happen? Few charges will be developed at the end of that scale, the end which you are rubbing on your hairs. So what will happen? And now if you go to the small particles or small size papers, so they will attract those papers. So why it's happening? So what happened? As soon as you rub your those that scale on your hairs, so a static charge developed at the end of the scale. So you might have heard two things: conductors and insulators. Okay, so conductors are those who conducts electricity, and insulators are those who do not conduct electricity. Okay. So what are insulators? So what happened? The major difference in conductor and insulator. So if there are charges developed in the insulator, so what the insulator does? Insulator just hold that charge at that portion only. It's insulators, they do not allow to flow the charge in the whole part of the insulators. But at the same time, if you are going to perform the same activity with the steel scale, so what will happen? The charges will be developed, but the charges will flow across the whole scale and it will not be hold at one point. So if you will try to perform the same experiment with the steel scale, this is not that's not going to attract your papers. But with the plastic scale, because the plastic scales are insulators, so insulators, they does not allow the flow of charge. The insulators, they do not allow the flow of charge. So what will happen? They hold the charge at one place, and because of that it attracts paper. So this is your static electricity. So we don't have to worry about this, because in this chapter we are not going to study this static electricity. What we are going to study? We are going to study this, the electricity generated by the electricity generated because of the motion of the charges. So that is called current electricity. What we call them beta? Current electricity. So this is what we are going to study in this chapter. Hope you guys understand. So what is current electricity? Okay, so few things I will tell. So this current electricity is because of the flow of charge. Because of the flow of charge, I've told you now, when the charges are in motion, so of course, so because of that motion the electricity generates, and that electricity is called current electricity. So this is generates because of the flow of charges. Okay beta, so we are going to study more on this. So let's start with that. So there are few factors, few parameters you can say, which we will have to study. So I'm coming back to your book. So in this video we are going to cover this topic, the 12.1 topic, which is saying that electric current and circuit. This we are going to study electric current and circuit. So before going to electric current, so I will like to tell you few parameters. So one parameter is called Q. What is Q? Q is your electric charge. Q is your electric charge. Okay, so what is this electric charge? So electric charge can be of two types. One is your positive, another one is your negative. And Q is the symbol to denote electric charge. Q is the symbol to denote electric charge, and the SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. The SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. Guys, please remember, watch this video very carefully, it's very important. Okay, the SI unit of electric charge is coulomb and it's denoted by letter C. And what is the smallest value of the charge? The smallest value of the charge is denoted either it's 1 electron or it's 1 proton. So only difference is that their magnitude is same. The magnitude of electrons and protons are same, but the only difference is that electrons are having negative charge and protons are having positive charge. So this is the smallest value of the charge. This is the smallest value of the charge, and the charges are counted, and the charges we calculate charge in the multiplication of either electrons or protons. We calculate charge in the multiplication of either electrons or protons, and multiplication by positive integers. Okay, so this is called quantization of the charge. What is this called, beta? Quantization of the charge. Okay, so it means, so suppose this electron is there, and so in one electron the amount of charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So this is the amount of charge in one electron, or you can say one proton. So what do you mean by quantization? Quantization means whenever we will have to calculate the charge on any conductor, so we calculate in the multiple of either electrons or protons. Means we can see it will be the 2e or 3e or 4e, like this. It cannot be like 2.7e. This is not possible. Okay, this is not possible. It will be always the multiple of positive integers, multiple by positive integers. So this phenomena or this feature or this property is called quantization of the charges. So understand this. So what I have told you, I will just repeat once again. Electric charge is denoted by letter capital Q, and electric charge can be positive or negative. The SI unit of charge is coulomb. Okay, and the smallest value of the charge, is either 1 electron or 1 proton. The magnitude of both electron and proton are same, which is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. The only difference is that electrons are having negative charges and protons are having positive charges. Okay, and then I have told you quantization of the charge. Quantization of the charge means that whenever you are going to calculate the value of charge on any conductor, so the value of charge will be calculated in the multiple of either electrons or proton, and that multiple means the multiplication by any positive integer, not with the decimal number. So that is called quantization of charge. Hope you guys understand this. So now I am going to tell you the next thing. Next thing is your electric current. Next thing is your electric current. So I will just write it over here, electric current. Okay, so electric current is denoted by letter called I. Okay, so electric current is denoted by letter I. So what is electric current? I have told you here now. So because of the flow of the charge, the current develops. So that is called electric current. So here I can simply say that the rate of flow of charge. What I will say? Rate of flow of charge. So what do you mean by rate of flow of charge? Means the amount of charge flowing through a conductor in a given time frame. Okay, the amount of charge flowing through a conductor in a given time frame is called your electric current. Means I can write it, I is equal to Q upon T, where Q, what is your Q, beta? Q is your charge, Q is your electric charge, and what's the SI unit of Q? SI unit of Q is, its SI unit is coulomb. Its SI unit is coulomb, and which is denoted by letter C. And then its time. So time is, what's the SI unit of time? SI unit of time is second. SI unit of time is second. So we always calculate time in terms of second. And then it's come the SI unit of current. So what's the SI unit of current? SI unit of current is ampere. SI unit of current is beta ampere. What I will say? ampere. Okay, so and it's denoted by letter A. Okay, so don't get confused with A and I. So there are, I've seen so many students always they have confusion in I and A. So what's the difference between I and A? I is the representation of your electric current. I is the representation of your electric current, where A is the representation of the unit of the electric current, which is ampere. So it's a difference. For example, suppose you calculate weight. Okay, so weight of any object. So suppose the weight of any object equal to 10 kg. Okay, and I am going to represent this weight with W, for example. Okay, so what I will say, so I can write W equal to 10 kg. So here W is the representation of the weight, but kg is the representation of the unit. So this is the difference over here. I is the representation of the electric current and ampere is the representation of its units, like whatever the value, like 10 amperes. How we measure current? Current will be like 10 ampere, 20 ampere, 50 ampere, like that. And so what I can write over here? So you can see, so now you can define the current. What's the definition of the current? Means rate of flow of charge is called current. In the simple way, you can say that the amount of charge flows through a conductor or flows through an electric circuit for a given time frame, so that is called current. So now if you will have to find 1 ampere of the current, so how you will get 1 ampere? So 1 ampere means if 1 coulomb of charge flowing through an electric circuit for 1 second, if 1 coulomb of charge flowing through an electric circuit for 1 second, then we can say that 1 ampere of current is flowing through the circuit. I will show you here. Suppose this is a circuit. I will tell you in detail that what are the electric circuit. For now, just assume this is an electric circuit. Okay, so there are two electric circuits I am making over here. Okay, so in first electric circuit, the current is flowing is of the charge is flowing of the 10 coulomb charge, and here the charge is flowing of the 5 coulomb charge, and the charge is for, here it's for the 2 seconds, and here also it's for the 2 seconds. I am taking the time same. So what's the current over here? So current is your charge upon time, correct? So charge upon time is 10 upon 2, which is your 5 ampere, correct? And here it will be 5 upon 2, which is 2.5 ampere. So what you are seeing over here, guys? So you are seeing even time is same, but in the circuit 1, the magnitude of charge is more as compared to the circuit 2. So the more is the charge, the more is the current. But at the same time, if I am going to reverse this, that suppose the 10 coulomb of charge is flowing from both the circuits, but in the first circuit it's just flowing in 1 second, in the second circuit it's flowing in 2 seconds. So what will be the current over here? So current over here will be 10 upon 1, which is 10 ampere. Getting it? But the current over here will be 10 upon 2, which is 5 ampere. So what you are saying, in the both the circuit the amount of charge is same, but in the second circuit it's taking 2 seconds to flow that amount of charge, but as compared to the first circuit, there it's flowing in just 1 second. So it means the smaller is the time, the more is the current. So what you are getting from here? It means that the current is directly proportional to your charge, and current is your inversely proportional to your time. So directly proportional means if the value of Q will increase, the value of I will also increase. If the value of Q will decrease, the value of I will also decrease. Inversely proportional means, beta, if the value of time will increase, the current will decrease, and vice versa. If the value of time will decrease, then current will increase. So here also, if you will have to find 1 ampere of the current, it means the value of Q should be 1 coulomb and the value of time should be 1 second. So we can say that if 1 coulomb of charge, guys listen this very carefully, if 1 coulomb of charge flowing through a circuit for 1 second, then we can say that 1 ampere of current is produced. What we can say, that 1 ampere of current is produced. Okay, let's go back to your book. So what your book is saying, so in your book, if you can see that this is the charge is denoted with letter Q, and they are saying that the flows across the cross section of a conductor in given time t. So if the net amount of charge flowing through a conductor for a time t, then we can say that current I is there in that conductor. So I equal to q upon t. Hope you guys understand this. And the SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. I have already told you. Also what I have told you beta, that the one electron on one proton, the smallest value of charge is 1.6 into 10 to the power 9 minus 19 coulomb. I have told you already here. I have told you कि 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So this is one electron. One electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So now suppose if there is a question comes कि in 1 coulomb how many electrons are there? In 1 coulomb means in 1 unit of charge. What is the unit of charge? Okay, here I have told you beta, the unit of charge is coulomb. So if someone is going to ask you question that in 1 coulomb how many electrons are there? So here we can say that in 1 coulomb, so it's nothing but simply just put this below. So 1 upon 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So if you will do this, you will get 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Okay, so if someone is going to ask you this question, in 1 coulomb how many electrons are there, so you can write this in 1 coulomb 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons are there. So you can see in refer your book also. So in your book also it's showing that there are 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons are there in 1 coulomb of charge. So that's your charge. Now here also they have explained that what is 1 ampere. So 1 ampere is means 1 ampere is the flow of 1 coulomb of charge. The flow of 1 coulomb of charge per second is called 1 ampere. I have explained you here beta. Okay, if 1 coulomb of charge flowing through a circuit for 1 second, then we can say that that circuit is having 1 ampere of electric current. Okay, after this there is one thing that's the electric circuit. So I will explaining electric circuit like this. So what are electric circuits? So electric circuit is nothing, it's constitute of you like battery or anything which supplies which supply the current. Okay, so that's battery. Why battery? Because battery is the one which supplies the current. Then there will be a wire. Okay, there will be a current flowing through the wire, and there are few electrical devices like bulb, this key. So this is A. What you're seeing this A. A is called ammeter. A is called beta ammeters. What is ammeter? Ammeter is a device which is used to measure the what we do that is used to measure the current, that is used to measure the current. Okay, so that is called ampere. So now let's solve this example. So guys, I have told you in my other videos also that whenever you are going to solve any numerical, whether that numerical is in physics or maths or in chemistry or any subject, so please first thing read the question very carefully. Second thing, what are the things given in the question, write it somewhere. Okay, so if you are going to this question, so this question is saying that a current of 0.5 ampere means the value of current is given. What is the value of current? The value of current is 0.5 ampere. Okay, buy an filament of an electric bulb for 10 minutes. What is 10 minutes? Means your time is given 10 minutes. And what I have told you, what is the SI unit of time beta? The SI unit of time is second. I have told you here, the SI unit of time is second. So what you will have to do, you will have to convert this time into second. Just remember one thing, every time in the physics, if you are going to solve any numerical, every numerical will be solved in terms of their SI unit only. Okay, so here the time is given 10 minutes. If in the question the value given for any of the parameter, whether it's current, time, charge or anything, any numerical in the whole physics, so if the magnitude and the value is given in the SI unit, then it's fine. If it's not given in the SI unit, first you will have to go and convert that into SI unit. So here it's given t equal to 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, convert that into seconds. So 10 into 60, which is your 600 seconds. Okay beta. So now you got the value of I and t. What you will have to find? You will have to find the electric charge. So you know the formula, I is equal to Q upon T. Now if you will have to find Q, so T will go this side. So Q will become your I times T. Q will become your I times T, which is equal to 0.5 times 600, which is equal to 300 coulomb. Just make sure to write the unit at the end of your answer, otherwise you will not get full marks in the exam. Okay, so in the exam, whenever we will have to solve this kind of questions, so what you will have to do first thing beta, write the values given in the question. Write the values given in the question. After that, write the formula. After that, do your calculation, and while writing the answer, please make sure to write the SI unit, write the unit of your answer at the end. Okay, then only you will get the full marks in your exam. Otherwise, no, the marks will be deducted, because in CBSE, in NCERT, there are steps marking. So there is a mark for each and every step. So you will have to solve your question with steps. Okay, now let's go and solve these questions. So there are 3 questions on this topic. So first question is, what does an electric circuit mean? So I have told you beta, electric circuit. What is this electric circuit? So electric circuit is a continuous conducting path. Continuous conducting path means the path should be continuous, it should not be broken. Okay, and conducting paths, what are the conductors? Means from which the current can flow. A continuous conducting path which consists of few electrical devices like your bulb, tube light, fan, your switch, your ammeter. So these are your electric devices. So this is your electric circuit. So you can just go through the definition, just write it over here. Okay, just pause the video and write this definition, because this is the definition which you are going to write in your exam. So what's the definition? Says an electric circuit is a continuous conducting path that consists of electric devices, switching devices, source of electricity, etc., connected by conducting wires. And this is the diagram which you are going to make. So guys, these questions are very important, because these kind of questions come in the exam of 1 mark. Okay, so it's very important to write the question in like in just very specific, with the very specific terms, and very the definition should be very precise, and it should be very clear. Okay beta, so just pause the video and write this definition down. What was the next question? Next question is your define the unit of current. But I have already defined the unit of current. What is the unit of current? Unit of current is ampere. And if you have to define the 1 ampere, how you are going to define the 1 ampere? So you define that if 1 coulomb of charge flowing through a circuit for 1 second, then we can say that the 1 ampere of current is flowing through the circuit. Here is the actual definition. Just write that definition. Okay, that the unit of electric current is ampere, that is A, and 1 ampere is defined as the flow of 1 coulomb of charge through the wire in 1 second. That's your definition of the unit of charge. Okay beta. Now the next question is, calculate the number of electrons constituting 1 coulomb of charge. I have already calculated and I have shown it to you guys. Look here. So what I have shown you, one electron, it's clear that 1 electron is having 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So now you will have, what your question is saying? Your question is saying that calculate the number of electrons in 1 coulomb of charge. So number of electrons in 1 coulomb of charge means 1 coulomb of charge. So it's 1 upon 1.6 in 10 to the power 19, which is 6 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Here is a solution. So 1 electron possesses a charge of 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. I have already told you. So in order to get 1 coulomb, so what you will have to do, you will have to 1 upon 1.6 into 10 to the power 19, which is going to give you 6 into 10 to the power 18. So actual answer is 6.25, but we write it 6 into in the lump sum value. So 6 into 10 to the power 18. Okay, the exact value is 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Okay, so that's your answer. Okay beta, so that's it from this particular topic. So in the next video we will be starting with the next topic, which is called electric potential and potential difference. Meanwhile, please go and watch this video, try to solve the questions from your other reference book, find them as much as questions from internet or the reference book. You must have Lakhmir Singh, Manjeet Kaur and other books. So just go and solve the questions on this topic. We will meet you in the next video. On the next topic is your electric potential and potential difference. Also, it's very important, please guys, go ahead and subscribe the channel. Okay, so if you subscribe the channel, and while subscribing the channel, please make sure to press the bell icon. please make sure to press the bell icon. Why I am saying to press the bell icon? Because as soon as you press the bell icon, the notifications will be activated, and as soon as I will upload the next video, you will receive the notification and you can study then and there only, or you will be notified, so you can plan your study later also. But at least you will be aware, okay, the next video on the next topic has been uploaded. And if you guys are having any queries, any doubt, any question, please write your doubts and query in the comment section. I will reply to those doubts. And if anyone don't want to write in the comment section, they can send me an email to info@rapidgyan.com, rapid rapidgyan.com. Okay beta, all right, thank you.